Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? I'm in a different part of the universe today, so thank you for joining us, Tibetan Buddhist Society of Canberra. But I'm roving around the universe, so I'm glad we are able to connect with each other and on this very fresh week of the new year 2022. Hopefully we could bid those two beleaguered years well, so that we don't have to revisit those two not so easy years that world had to face. In any case, a very season's greetings to you all. And here we had to do our regular Sunday morning meditation practice, followed by a short talk on, I've been doing the series of talk on Eightfold Path, and this is the last one. So as most of you are very familiar, we will first do with the refuge and four immediate chanting of the prayers. Please secure your space to have a good space so that you can actually sit still and be attentive and follow really one pointed meditation practice. I will screen share. Our people will screen share you the prayers before we do the practice. And I haven't got a gong today with me, but I will just use my voice to start and finish off. Probably mouth is a good gong to time our meditation. So thank you, everybody. So we'll now screen share the refuge prayers. All of those who are joining us on YouTube and Facebook, also welcome, as well as a Zoom. Thank you very much. Join your hands at the heart, and we are at the beginning of a brand new year, and we have very good reason to put some good resolve and a good aspiration for humanity and for the kindness of human beings to each other, which is most important when people are not so convenienced by many sets of circumstances. Anyway, join your hands at the heart and do these prayers. And the cause of happiness, and the big from suffering, and the cause of suffering, and it never from the happiness and the suffering that I couldn't free from adjustment and and for helping and happiness and the cause of happiness from suffering and the cause of suffering, and from the happiness and the suffering and the free from and goodness and for helping happiness and the cause of happiness and every from suffering and the cause of suffering and from the happiness and suffering and free from attachment and goodness and so now we'll do the meditation. Please be seated in correct meditation posture with your back straight, hands on your lap. And I suggest you observe 4 S's. The first S is stillness of not just the posture, but also of your attention. Second is your insincere and very cooperative intention. so that your mind is not distracted, scattered, but know exactly what to do. And thirdly, have a very serene and a mind that is not sluggish or clouded or distracted, but really present with your object of attention. And then the fourth is very simple. Just simply scan your posture during this first slot of meditation. Just stay fully present with your meditation posture. Mind is slowly making sure the posture from the feet with your two hands on the lap, shoulders balanced, back straight, stomach muscles slightly pulled back to the rib cage, and spine very straight, chin slightly tucked in. Have a sense your jaws relax, your whole facial muscles are very happy and pleasant, eyes half open, serene, peaceful gaze, and your single hair pulls you towards the ceiling. So have this mindfully doing and scanning and checking and correcting the posture. Unless you require short mini break, keep staying present, doing just that until I come back to you to lead the next subsection. So stay calmly abiding, meditative state, good, conscious, meditative posture, the subject and object of the technique. So now we begin the second part of the meditation. Please stay still in the posture as the basis. And now you maintain your posture, but fix your focus of attention to the qualified round of breathing. You follow each round of breath, and then you try to do forward counting. At the end of each exhalation, you count as 1, and the next is 2, and so on, unless you lose your count, which you become aware after a while. If not, keep counting each round. At the same time, try to boost thus the clarity of your attention, the contents of the qualified inhalation, permeation, and exhalation, and end of each exhalation, you count the number. So try to fix your attention mindfully and calmly, abiding, becoming fully present with the breath that you're doing, knowingly, seeing it and feeling each phase, one mindfully and one pointedly. Now we'll do the last and third meditation slot, which is continuing your stillness, sincere, serene, and a very simple technique. But during this time, try to focus on doing super qualified rounded breathing, which really means try to have a higher resolution of your concentration. To boost that, you do the reverse counting, for instance, from the highest number you got to, like I always try to get up to 60, which I did during this time. So I'll reverse counting each time I finish the super qualified exhalation. I count 60, and the next 59, 58, and unless I lose the count, which I should be aware, losing the count and becoming aware is just as part of being serene and calm. So even staying counting without losing is no better if you don't have the sharp, high resolution that we call a super qualified attention. So try to do that with good posture and discipline and mindfulness and awareness of the reverse counting of super qualified round breathing. Okay, with the meditation now finished. Thank you for everybody joining us this morning here at Tibetan Buddhist Society of Canberra's regular Sunday meditation and talk. Now we're going to do I'm going to do a talk that for a few of you following here on Zoom, as well as on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. Nice to have you all on the first Sunday of the year 2022. So how was your meditation? Nice to have I don't know how much of your attention was there, but your presence was there. That's definitely. On Zoom, you can see they're all there. Yeah, they're all there. You can all zoom in that they're all there physically, but if you can zoom with your attention, that's you can only zoom yourself. You know, you can't. Nobody can zoom your attention. So this morning's topic is the right meditation. Of course, that's the main topic of Buddhist teachings of right meditation. In order to enjoy the great benefit of all the right view is the first. In order to have the right view of knowing all things as they are in ultimate level, which is really not as they appear at all, because when things appear, they appear because they're very much kind of colored and influenced by our own afflictions and thoughts and opinions and views, and that we do not exactly see the way things are. So the right view is only generated from right meditation. If you don't have right meditation, even the view, the theoretical teaching of everything being impermanent or everything being not truly existing self, that body is not self, name is not self, gender is not self, all these things we can all theoretically agree, but we still are stuck with our names and we're stuck with our things. We are not quite free. We still have the view that I am my body and my body's illness is me and mine. There's no way of disowning that, and we are still stuck in that, isn't it? So we haven't really realized the right view of the theory that we think we know, unless you have right meditation. So right meditation out of the Eightfold Path is listed as the eighth at the last, because it's like ground up. You've got to build your meditation, right meditation and right mindfulness slowly, then you will relish the right view in everyday situations. So that's why I'm going to focus a little bit of the importance of the what right meditation is in pan-Buddhistic concept, because pan-Buddhist meaning all Buddhist, be that Theravadan, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, all of them have one combined form of meditation they all recommend. And this is the union of calm abiding meditation and special insight. So if people have both good calm abiding meditation and special insight is usually the result of calm abiding meditation. It doesn't necessarily have to be developed later than calm abiding. Some people can gain special insight while doing calm abiding meditation technique, just like we were doing, mindfully just watching your posture and the breath and feelings. While you're doing this, you can gain insight as far as knowing that I'm not my feelings, I am not my body. They are temporarily there, but they're not me. And so you have this amazing sense of freedom from becoming drowned in the feelings of sadness and hurt,
pain that we previously could not delump from ourselves. So you could actually experience a right meditation of special insight while doing on the surface a right meditation of calm abiding. You can do the calm abiding meditation technique, and those people who've been doing lots of meditation outwardly, they're doing calm abiding, but you should not just merely reduce it. I'm just doing calm abiding, but you should still look at from the shoulder of the calm abiding. Try to search the right view while doing the super qualified round breathing, for instance. While you're doing super qualified round breathing, watching the calm abiding, you can see this is to help me to restitute my mind to know all feelings are made out of many, many components. Feelings are aggregate. Aggregate means composite. But when we do not have the right view, we think the feeling is independent, be created by him to me, or by myself to myself, and therefore we then punish them or us like that. We do not see the composite, interdependent nature of the feelings. When we become very negative, we react, oh, why did you do that? We think it's truly what they said. It's just your perception, but it's not what is perceived. So therefore, there is no mindfulness of perception when you don't have the right view. When you have the right view, you will see the perception is empty of inherently existing thing, but yet you could perceive this way or that way, depending which kind of affliction we're leaning onto. So when you see the kind of interdependent origination of your feelings or perception, depending to which causes, conditions are propping it up, then you can see how things are composite. The wall is not the wall. The wall you're seeing is the paint you're seeing. The wall is gibralks. Gibralk is not called a wall. so therefore, don't call your feeling or someone did appear to what they did. They're not the author, nor are you. Some people think being all in your mind is a Buddhist thing. No. And Buddhists say even mind is not to be truly found. Okay? You give yourself a break. Don't try to become mind, So then if everything is your mind, you will have a huge problem. But Buddhism says even mind is not truly existing. Your mind is not truly existing. If you can find the mind, show me. Where is the color? Where is the shape? At least body has a shape and a color. But when you look at the shape, it's made out of color. When you look at the color, it's made out of shape. And when you remove the color of the wall, then the gibralk reveals. Then you don't call the wall, it's called gibralk. When you remove the gibralk, then you see the panel behind it. And when you remove the panel behind it, there's all the insulation. And by the time you keep going, you go to outside the wall. So that is called insight. Insight is not finding anything independent, unitary, permanent, and truly existing. This is insight meditation. Lama Tsongkhapa in 14th century did a good summary of Buddhism. And he said 3 principles. There are 3 principles. If you have insight, you will realize 3 principles. There are renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. So what is it? Renunciation means you renounce your wrong views, okay? Ordinary people think renounce the world and you live from home to homelessness and all that idealism. That's, Jains do better than Buddhists, I tell you that. The Jains in India do better than the Buddhists. Buddhists are living in 5-story built monasteries. They're not living on the Ganges, bank of River Ganges. The Jains are naked and living naked in River Ganges. They definitely are renunciate. In Buddhism, real renunciation is the wrong view. Wrong view that things are real, things are created by God, things are created by someone, things are permanent, things are real. That is the wrong view we have to renounce. Very good, very good. So that's why when you're meditating, when you're doing the qualify around breathing super. You're trying to renounce the wrong views each time you exhale. Renounce the wrong view. And then bodhicitta, second principle, bodhicitta. And then when you know how to renounce the wrong view, then you develop loving kindness and compassion and altruism for the sake of others who don't have these knowledges. Poor thing. They went to university and school for 20, 30 years, but still they haven't got this knowledge. You feel pity. Oh gosh, people have so much education, but no wisdom. so many books, but no knowledge. So then you develop bodhicitta, altruistic. You have this amazing burst of compassion for the sake of beings who are struggling because of lack of wisdom. So therefore, altruism is the wish that you want to be of benefit to liberate them from their wrong views and wrong grasping to the things as truly existing, because they too need to develop renunciation, but they haven't got a clue. So therefore, you develop bodhicitta motive. Bodhicitta is right meditation. Bodhicitta should be at the forefront of our mind all the time, not just in meditation. Always keep the bodhicitta in your mind. And when you develop renunciation from the wrong views, then you develop right view. Then you have real bodhicitta. You develop right view, not of the emptiness, because beings who don't understand emptiness are clinging to things as real. Therefore, I must go and aspire to liberate them from those such wrong views. So that's the relative bodhicitta, yeah? Wishing bodhicitta. Engaging, then you engage in your daily practice. And so, because therefore, right meditation is keeping the bodhisattvic conduct and attitudes and views always as part and parcel of your everyday life. It's not just when you're sitting quietly on the meditation, it's right meditation. Hopefully your meditation is more happening at the kitchen sink level. When you're doing the dishes, when you're changing the nappies, you should have the right view. And bodhicitta. You should have altruistic motivation, doing those things very, 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 very dutifully, very, very willfully, and with kindness and tenderness to which whoever the sentient being happened to be necessitated by that. So therefore, the bodhicitta is the altruistic motivation, motivated by the sadness of sentient beings who lack the renunciation of self-grasping. They have renounced homes. Some people have renounced jobs. Some people have renounced wives. Some people have renounced house. But they haven't renounced the wrong view. They haven't renounced the wrong view that I'm the victim. So as a result of that, they will continue to suffer. So their suffering has increased. The weight of the suffering has increased by renunciation, but has not decreased by renunciation. So most of the renunciation is superficial renunciation. Superficial renunciation. So the real renunciation is renunciation from self-grasping, self-importance. This is very much Mahayanas. Yeah? Theravada would say renunciation of worldly life, possessions, home and family and all that sort of thing. Small portion of people can do that, live a mundane life, but majority says, oh gosh, what can we do that, even in true Buddhist countries, it's only 10% or less people becoming ordained. And how many of them are genuine renunciate? Very few. Most of them are fulfilling the obligatory roles of their parents' expectations. They have no intention to renounce anything because they haven't got much to renounce. I remember I was a refugee boy. I think I was sent to the monastery so that my parents don't have to feed me all the time. at least monastery might give me dinner each night. So the motivation of sending boys to the monasteries wasn't renunciation at all. So true renunciation from the teaching has to be realizing the true origin of suffering and truth of suffering. And we therefore want to renounce the true origin of suffering, which is self-grasping. So in my inner point of view, renunciation of selfishness is the highest bodhicitta. You have to discard self-cherishing as the poison, adopt cherishing others as the bodhicitta. Even bodhicitta cannot be bodhicitta unless you have the renunciation of self-cherishing. You can't practice bodhicitta with self-cherishing anyway. So it's one of the conditions you're not allowed, One of the conditions that you can't practice bodhicitta is unless you renounce self-cherishing. You meditate on the deep merit of self-cherishing first. If you have, that means you have to renounce self-cherishing. That's the meditation, right? Meditation, Mahayana, is renounce self-cherishing. Even though you have renounced shopping or renounced drinking or renounced shopping, not shopping, but maybe owning a property or making business or making profit. People renounce all of that, but these are lots of people do forget one and do another. So that's picking one and dropping another. It's not renunciation, just changing, just changing partners is not renunciations. Just swapping partners is not called renunciation practice. It's called swapping. So renouncing this partner of selfishness, partner of self-cherishing, is a true renunciation. Then it doesn't matter who you are with, whatever you have to share the boat with, or car with, or carpooling, whatever. You always have to rely on sentient beings anyway. So you can't really renounce each other. Then you can't practice bodhicitta. So it's a renunciation of self-cherishing. That's a renunciation. It's not self-cherishing of other people, particularly not the difficult people, because we need them. They are real good teachers. And so therefore, we have to understand the right meditation is understanding correctly what is renunciation, understanding correctly what is bodhicitta, and then try to yield the bodhicitta, try to yield the renunciation. And when you have this right renunciation and right bodhicitta, that means then you have the right view of selflessness, of emptiness, of self. And then right view of emptiness will become much more clearly, crystal clear in your mind stream to be able to understand. Then even the practice of right meditation of deity yoga, which if you do the meditation on deity yoga, the deity yoga is actually a renunciation, because deity yoga is renunciation, bodhicitta, and the right view all combined. Why? Firstly, you do not see yourself as ordinary, but as a deity. So that's a renunciation of self. Renunciation of self. You manifest in form of an altruistic bodhisattva. So therefore, you are embodiment of bodhicitta. So that's right bodhicitta. And yet appearance of yourself, however many graphic, how many hands and legs, but these are all emptiness. So therefore, there is no grasping to it as self. So therefore, deity yoga is actually what we call deity yoga is emptiness yoga. And emptiness yoga is bodhicitta yoga. Bodhicitta yoga is renunciation yoga. So deity yoga is the culmination of all the three principles of the path: the renunciation of self, replaced by deity, and the renunciation of selfishness, replaced by bodhicitta, renunciation of physical, psychophysical organ and identity by the identity of deity, and so therefore the deity yoga is the emptiness. So that's why renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness, which is deity yoga, those who practice Vajrayana, any form of any deity yoga you practice, is all right meditation. And so when you are able to see the deity, you are able to see the emptiness of self. And deity is the kind of visual reminder of the emptiness of self. It's because if it's deity yoga doesn't exist, it's emptiness of emptiness, So most people can't relate to it. So therefore, the visual form of deity is form of emptiness, manifesting as a deity, but actually is emptiness of the form. Therefore, emptiness is a form of self, but replaced by the symbol of emptiness in form, such as deity's arms and hands and legs and so on, which are all reminder of what symbolism of what the deity represents to overcome the what you call antithesis of the two hands, dualistic mind, and so on. And so that symbolism of deity becomes a really right meditation. I'm here probably addressing mostly to the familiar phases of the conventional audience in the Zoom, as if they're supposed to be empty, but they don't quite yet appear empty to me. So, but they're also familiar kind of consumer of emptiness, deity yoga meditators. So because of that, I can address that. I don't know how much wider our audience in the Facebook and YouTube will be in that category. But those among you who haven't done deity yoga, the right meditation means union of calm, abiding, and special insight. Now, Theravadins do it, Zen people do it, of course Mahayana do it, Vajrayana do it. Vajrayana have the best. They say they say conduct of Buddhists is non-violence, conduct of Buddhist non-violence. The meditation is non-duality of calm, abiding, special insight. View is emptiness. The view is emptiness or dependent origination, whichever you choose. Or you can have / emptiness, dependent origination. Dependent origination is a mouthful, but actually it's description of what is empty is necessarily dependently created, meaning empty of independence, empty of independently existing things. So right meditation means you don't have to say, oh, that was a talk or right meditation, I will do that. But you could be actually doing your normal thing, but still you could be accessing the right view, right meditation of emptiness of all things. What does it do? It completely empowers you from getting attached to it, worrying about things. If you have worry and anxiety because you don't have the right view, if you have the right view meditation, you don't see anything that is cause of worry. You don't see anything in you that is the worrier. Is the worrier is a tip of your longest hair? Or your nostrils. Come on, pinpoint the cause of the worrier. The longest, some of us are a bit bald, so I don't know, you haven't got much longer hair. Tip of the longest hair, is that me? Or the narrows of the bone, that's me? Or the little fingers and nail, it's me? Which is worrying, You try to find where is the worrier? You couldn't find it. So therefore, you need to use the right meditation straight when you have the sense of worry and anxiety and upset and distracted emotion, bad perception. You should straight away corner it. You straight away strangle it with the right view. And then develop compassion to your past and others who don't see that. And so therefore, your compassion is constantly goes in hand with your right meditation. Because right meditation gives us lots of compassion, those who lack the meditation, let alone the right one. Those who lack any meditation. Meditation means they're not present. They're lost. They're scattered. They just mind is completely lost with the wrong views, and they think that's correct, and then they are whinging, and they're moaning and groaning, and you develop compassion to them. You do not get agitated by them. You do not get provoked by them. Why? You have the right view. When you have the right view, You shield the wrong views. You shield the wrong views. You know, I used the example of waterproof jacket. You know, if you have a raincoat, you put on a raincoat. Water falls on the raincoat, but it doesn't. The rain doesn't come through the jacket onto your shirt. So you're wearing this raincoat of right view. Raincoat of right view. Yeah, raincoat of right view. Very good. Very good. Raincoat of right view. Just take the raincoat of right view, my dear. Okay. Don't forget to pack that. Oh yeah. I'll take the raincoat of right view. Oh, it's drenching rain. Oh, never mind. Yeah, people will say this to you, do this to you, appears to be doing this, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really harm you because you do not see them as independently them. It's all camouflaged by various causes, condition, and you happen to be wearing the raincoat, invisible raincoat. Invisible raincoat. And yes, you can hear the rain fall, but it doesn't soak a thing. Why? You have the raincoat. You have the waterproof jacket. Very good. Waterproof jacket. Okay, we're talking about wrong view proof. Wrong view proof, right? Meditation. Wrong view proof. I can prove the wrong view would be very fantastic. I think you can do that, you know. When your merit is good, you know. Most people don't have the sufficient merit to have this wrong view proof mind, you know. Right view means wrong view proof. Because we have lost so much habits of wrong view, you do not know how to put it aside and put on the right view. When you put on the right view, those who have wrong view becomes your object of compassion. Not something you run away from or push away or point the finger to, because the person who's wearing a rain jacket, raincoat, doesn't say, oh, the rain is coming, go away, go away. He's pretty confident. He can walk in the rain with the raincoat. He has no aversion to the rain. He will go with the gun boot and the raincoat, no problem. Why? Because he knows what he's completely attired properly. You know, you have to be attired properly. Meditation is to attire your mind with the right view, right meditation, and then of course compassion. So that's why union of calm abiding, and especially inside meditation, greatly boosts your emotional, intellectual, and behavior fitness. It doesn't mean that you don't have lapses in the past, that you're perfect now. You still have them. You really are somewhat beleaguered by them. Oh, I shouldn't have behaved that last week or yesterday or to him or to them. Oh, it's so childish of me. But even that, you don't make yourself become nagger to you. You see that as object of compassion. You should be compassion to your past self. Past self. And forgive the past self. And he says, thank you, my dear. but why can't you? Why can't you forgive yourself? You know, why can't you forgive? Because it's you. When you have the raincoat jacket, you can quash the wrong views. You know, when you can definitely. Right meditation means it is fully present. You're present and you're not in the past. That's it. Simple as that. Right meditation means you're present. When people are worried, anxious, sad, hurt, guilty, they're in the past again. They're not with the breath. They're not with the sit. They're not with the meditation. And because of that, they are in the past. All the stress, all the worries, all the anxieties, all the sort of arrogance, all this feeling of I was wronged by them or her, or all these things are wrong views. You know? And one can see the wrongness in the right view. But when you see the right view, the wrongness of the right view, the wrong doesn't exist anymore to be passed. It can't pass you. It can't hold you back because there isn't there. It's just like You thought somebody knocked the door last night, but this morning go and open the door. There's nobody there. You almost, oh, somebody knocked the door last night. I dare not open the door this morning. Go and open the door. There's nobody there. The person actually thinks he's still there, somebody at the door. That's what his problem is. Because he's still subscribing to the wrong view. Some people are not able to reconcile with the parents or the friends or X or Y or whatever, just because they are still subscribing to the wrong view. They're still afraid of the past rain might wet their jacket. Even though they got a brand new jacket, raincoat jacket, but still they say, oh, this present raincoat is good, but I still hate the past rain. Can you believe it? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is post PSTDs is all about afraid of past rain that may wet your new raincoat. So use such analogies to understand what constitutes right meditation. Not only when you're on a cushion and sitting on Sundays or whenever you meditate, but whenever you're present, they're right meditation. When you're present, your view will come, your renunciation will come, and your bodhicitta will come. All these three comes into really amazing kind of feature that really completely befriends you and empower you and liberate you from sorrow and their causes. And those who are not managing, you impart compassion. I've been there. I know exactly where they are there. And you do not bash, you do not push sentient beings with the sufferings or problems. The sentient beings with the karma and problem, you use more them as object of your compassion. How can you prove the raincoat is a raincoat unless you wear it in rain? I mean, you don't put the raincoat in the drawer saying it's a nice raincoat. Oh, yeah. Do you want me to show the raincoat? Yes, it's this. Then you open and you try to, no, I want to put it back in the drawer. Yeah. The raincoat that's always put in the drawer is not a raincoat. It's what's in the drawer. So bring out those raincoats, not only between the shop and the home, but take it out and wear it in your everyday life. So right meditation is not just when you're sitting on the cushion, but where in life's situation you put them right meditation on. Means you switch your mind on. You put yourself in the mode of super qualified mode. Qualified mode of attention, intention, and view, and you mean it. They all should be put on. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's all I think I got to say. Please feel free to. I wouldn't mind taking a few questions or comments. Please feel free to do that, everyone. You know how to do that on Zoom. If you are on Facebook, please drop a couple lines there. So I will be able to interact with you, hopefully. I'm not always successful doing this while yes. So yes, got quite a few messages here from Facebook. Oh yes, got quite a few messages here from Facebook. Take the raincoat of the right view. That's right. Yes, Michael put them there. Yeah. So quite a few comments, but no specific questions there. Comments, but no specific questions there. Any advice for dealing with negative thoughts that arise immediately upon awakening?
Jacqueline, what do you mean by awakening? Hope that usually when you're awakening, there wouldn't be any negative left. If you're talking about rising from the sleep, dealing with negative thoughts that arise immediately up, or maybe when you wake up, that's what you mean. As soon as you rise, it doesn't matter whether you arise from sleep or whether you arise from dullness, or whether you arise from heavy lunch, doesn't really matter. As soon as you see the negative thoughts, you have to see, if you see the negative thoughts, it's not a negative thoughts. Negative thought that is seen as negative is not negative. Good on you. The negative thoughts only exist and can persist as negative when you do not recognize it as negative. When you see negative as negative, it's already going to be positive already now, because it's identified negative. Apprehended. It's apprehended negative thoughts. Here, Philippa says, I'm slow at getting raincoat out of cupboard. Any suggestion connected right with breathing that instant before reacting? Thank you. Yes. Yes, of course. It's good to read the weather forecast. Good to read the weather forecast before you going out for the job and pack the raincoat. So because particularly if you live in some places where the weather could be very wet in some particular season, it's good to have that there. So it's like the airbags in the car, Airbags in the car is always with that, so like that, when you have the raincoat right view with you, that's why we need merit. Because we do not have sufficient merit, we don't have the speediness to remember the right view and right renunciation and right bodhicitta. So that's why we need to keep reminding to bring this up in our mind. People think that what they need to renounce is people or things or place they live or place they work or who they deal with. Then they kind of move away from there, they be free. It's not. That's not renunciation. That's escapism. That's escapism, So renunciation is actually, the Tibetan word is definite emergence. It means you become something extraordinarily, daring, that you previously didn't have the gut to do that. So the Buddha, when he left home, he wasn't really leaving home as people thought he was. He actually left attachment to the position of king, the self-importance. And if he didn't renounce that, he could not become the mendicant, the monastic, the bodhisattva, the practitioner who reached enlightenment. Because his motivation was altruism, and therefore his renunciation is renouncing self-cherishing, and with that he had to also give up temporarily the role of a royal prince. So if you're not bringing out the raincoat very regularly, then maybe you're busy with some other things. Nice leather handbag, the latest Gucci handbag you're always carrying. That's the problem. They're nice and tiny, but wouldn't even fit a damn raincoat in there. So what's the point of a Gucci handbag? Maybe you should always have a raincoat in the Gucci handbag. Everybody taking the Gucci handbag, but what's in there? Nothing useful. Maybe a lipstick, a little mirror. I don't know what else. It's good to have a raincoat. Quite a lot of raincoat, very light, they don't really take a lot of space. The right view is very, very light. Right view is very light. Okay, everyone. So we will conclude there. Thank you very much, everybody, this morning and next 2 weeks. I'm sure someone will take the Sunday session. I will be busy in conducting in a linguistic form of teaching Tibetan language for the 2 weeks. But and then, of course, after that, we have this very special weekend with His Holiness
Sakya Gongma Trichen, who will be giving the White Tara empowerment online, and people who are joining the retreat. This is only for people doing the retreat, okay? Either online or in person. So if you haven't signed up, you should do it quickly, because definitely those in person is limited space. Those in online, we probably should have not much restriction on the space. Anyway, so that's all. Thank you very much. There's one last comment before we finish from Nima. Hello, Nimala. I heard a translation of karma as compulsion rather than just intention. This seems to connect with what you are saying about merit. Is this correct? Yeah, recently I have been translating the word karma as a law of consequences rather than law of karma, law of consequences. Of course, sometimes we are very much habituated. So some of the people's compulsion, obsessive compulsion kind of behavior is very much pattern. They're so much stuck in pattern, repeating the pattern. So there's definitely is a kind of unrecognized intention that compulsively happens. But there are definitely consequences of unresolved intention or cravings or yearnings or grievances of the past. People do so many things unconsciously as if there's no real intention at all. They don't even need intention. It's an automated system. So therefore, this obsessive compulsion is a law of consequences. And so in order to stop the consequences, we have to actually recognize these are consequences, and then accept that is a consequence of something I did. And as soon as you accept the consequences, this can reverse the next dose of obsessive compulsion. And so therefore likelihood of having the opposite of consequences of the wrong consequences. So therefore you will have consequences of the merit. Consequences of merit. Okay, thank you very much. We will conclude here, and wish you all well. We will do the dedication merits. Thank you for everybody joining on Zoom as well as on whichever of the platform you've been able to join today, or whenever you're going to watch these things on YouTube. Please send to your friends, because these things are always there, sitting there. People can watch anytime, more easily on YouTube. I don't know how much easy it is on Facebook, but YouTube is always for you. It's all yours. The word "you" says it all. It's all for you, and for he and she. So we'll do the dedication marriage. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to pack your raincoat with you. Thank you.